The rising threat of blackouts. 9 critical supplies you need now. By 2030, blackout hours could increase by 100 times, and most families are dangerously unprepared for what's coming. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 9 critical supplies that could mean the difference between comfort and chaos during the next power outage. We're breaking down exactly what to buy, how much to spend, and the costly mistakes most people make when preparing for blackouts. Welcome to Essential Pantry, where we help you prepare smart for life's uncertainties. If you find this information valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our essential preparedness guides. Let's talk about something that's happening right now, whether you're paying attention or not. Since 2019, power outages have jumped 20% every single year. That's not a typo. Every year, they're getting worse. The Department of Energy isn't sugarcoating it either. They're predicting that blackout hours could increase by a staggering 100 times by 2030. The question isn't if a blackout will hit your area, it's when. Extreme weather is battering our infrastructure. The power grid is aging and straining under increased demand. Multi-day blackouts are becoming a real possibility for millions of households across the country. And here's the hard truth. Being unprepared can mean the difference between staying comfortable and safe or facing chaos and real danger. So what do you actually need? Let's start with the backbone of blackout readiness. When the grid fails, backup power becomes a lifeline. Now, you might be thinking about traditional gas generators, but here's why they're not your best option anymore. They're noisy, they require constant fuel, and storing gasoline is a hassle and a hazard. Modern portable power stations have changed the game completely. These units can run your refrigerator, charge your phones, power medical devices, and even keep your Wi-Fi operational during an outage. Here's a sobering statistic. 83% of outages are caused by extreme weather, and they're lasting longer than ever. Texas A&M University reports that outages have worsened by 20% each year since 2019. Portable power stations aren't a luxury anymore, they're a necessity. But not all power stations are created equal. Experts recommend models with at least 1,500 watt-hours of capacity. That's enough to keep your essentials running for 24 to 48 hours. Now, here's the feature you absolutely cannot skip: solar charging capability. This is critical for extended outages because it allows you to recharge during the day and use that power at night. Without solar charging, you're just counting down the hours until your power station becomes a very expensive paperweight. Here's a smart buying tip. Purchase your power station during off-season months like March or October. You can save significant money when everyone else isn't panic buying during storm season. And let's be realistic about expectations. You won't be powering your entire home with a portable station, but you will keep critical devices running, and that's what matters during an emergency. Let me share a real-life lesson that drives this home. A neighbor experienced a 5-day winter outage last year. She had a power station, but it didn't have solar charging capability. By day 3, her power station was completely dead, and she had 2 more days of freezing temperatures ahead of her. That investment became useless when she needed it most. Don't make that mistake. Now, when the sun sets during a blackout, reliable lighting becomes crucial. Many households are still relying on outdated flashlights with alkaline batteries that die quickly. Modern LED lanterns have changed everything. These can run for 200 to 300 hours on a single set of batteries, far outlasting traditional options. Think about that. One set of batteries giving you over a week of continuous light. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think 1 lantern per room is enough. FEMA actually recommends 1 light source per person, not per room. Why? Because during an emergency, people need to move around independently. You need to navigate safely, check on family members, and handle tasks without everyone being tethered to a single light source. Look for lanterns with multiple brightness settings. This feature helps you conserve battery life by running on low most of the time and increasing brightness only when you actually need it. A lantern on its lowest setting can last weeks, but on high, it might only last a few days. That flexibility matters during extended outages. Strategic storage is just as important as having the lights themselves. Place lanterns in key locations, kitchen, bedrooms, near exits, so you're not stumbling around in the dark trying to find them when the power goes out. Consider rechargeable LED lanterns that can be powered by your portable station or solar panels. They offer peace of mind and long-term savings. Here's a maintenance tip that most people overlook. Check your batteries every 3 months. Set a phone reminder right now. Seriously, pause and do it. Battery corrosion can ruin your devices, and you don't want to discover dead batteries when the lights go out. A simple quarterly check prevents embarrassing and dangerous situations during an outage. Next, we need to talk about staying connected when everything else fails. During major outages, cell towers and internet often go down. Most cell towers only have 4 to 8 hours of backup power. That's it. Once your phone dies and the towers go down, you're completely cut off from critical updates about the situation, emergency services, and when power might be restored. This is where emergency radios become essential. Look for hand crank and solar-powered models that receive emergency broadcasts even when everything else fails.
A hand crank means you can always generate power manually, even if the sun isn't shining and your batteries are dead. Multifunctionality is key here. The best emergency radios have weather alert bands that automatically notify you of severe weather, built-in flashlights for additional lighting, and USB ports so you can charge your phone or other small devices. Look for models with at least 2,000 milliamp hour battery capacity for extended use. During the 2021 Texas winter storm, emergency radios were the difference between knowing where to go and being completely isolated. People with emergency radios got updates on warming shelters, water distribution points, and power restoration schedules. Those relying only on their phones were left in the dark, literally and figuratively. Here is a practical feature to look for: an earphone jack. This allows you to check updates discreetly, which is especially helpful when you're conserving body heat in a single room with family members who might be sleeping. You can stay informed without disturbing everyone else. Now let's address something that becomes life-threatening very quickly: temperature control. Blackouts during winter or summer can kill. That's not an exaggeration. The 2021 Texas winter storm claimed over 240 lives. Summer outages send thousands of people to emergency rooms every year due to heat exhaustion. Here's what most people don't realize: your home loses heat or cooling within the first hour of a blackout. Indoor temperatures can change dramatically in just 6 to 8 hours, depending on your insulation and the season. If it's winter and you're not prepared, you could be facing dangerously cold temperatures inside your own home by the end of the first day. For winter solutions, portable propane heaters are your best bet, but, and this is critical, only use models certified for indoor use with proper ventilation. The Mr. Heater Buddy series is a top choice because it features oxygen depletion sensors and automatic shutoff. These safety features aren't optional, they're essential. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a real and deadly risk during blackouts. For a family of 4, keep at least 6 to 8 propane canisters per winter season. Yes, that sounds like a lot, but during an extended outage, you'll go through them faster than you think. Better to have too many than to run out when it's 20 degrees outside and the power's still off. Summer solutions are equally important. Battery-powered fans can prevent heat exhaustion by circulating air during high temperatures. They won't cool your home like air conditioning, but moving air makes a huge difference in how your body handles heat. These fans can run on your portable power station or their own rechargeable batteries. Here's a brilliant freezer hack that most people never think about. Fill empty freezer spaces with containers of water to create ice blocks. This extends your freezer's cooling time during outages because the ice acts as thermal mass, keeping everything colder for longer. Plus, as the ice melts, you have extra drinking water. Speaking of your freezer, let's talk about protecting your food supply. Your refrigerator stays cold for about 4 hours if you keep it unopened. Your freezer will maintain its temperature for 24 to 48 hours, again, if you don't open it. But here's the problem. Most people open and close their fridge repeatedly during an outage, checking what they have or trying to use things up. Every time you open that door, you're losing precious cooling time. The USDA guidelines are very clear. Any food above 40 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 2 hours should be discarded. One blackout can mean throwing away $300 to $500 worth of groceries. That's a significant financial hit that most families aren't prepared for. This is where high-quality coolers and ice packs become essential. Have them ready with frozen ice packs before an outage hits. Reusable ice packs are far superior to bags of ice because they last longer, don't create a watery mess, and can be refrozen and used again. Here's a brilliant buying strategy. Purchase coolers in November when retailers are clearing out summer inventory. You can get them for half the summer price. Choose light-colored coolers because they reflect heat and slow ice melt compared to dark-colored ones. Use a cooling zone strategy during a blackout. Transfer your essential items, medications, infant formula, insulin, critical food items to a well-packed cooler. This keeps your main fridge closed and colder for longer while giving you easy access to what you absolutely need. Keep that cooler in the coolest part of your house, away from direct sunlight. And please don't take chances with food safety. If something smells off or has been above 40 degrees for over 2 hours, toss it. Food poisoning during a blackout when medical care might be limited or slow to arrive is a risk you don't want to take. Now we need to address something that becomes a serious concern after 48 hours without power: hygiene and sanitation. This is the area most people completely overlook when preparing for blackouts, but the CDC emphasizes that maintaining sanitation is critical for preventing illness during emergencies. Without running water or the ability to heat water, basic hygiene becomes challenging. No-rinse body wipes and dry shampoo become essential supplies. Look for medical-grade wipes. They're more effective than baby wipes for adult hygiene. Dry shampoo keeps your hair from becoming greasy and uncomfortable, which matters more than you might think for morale during extended outages. Let's talk about the toilet situation, because this gets real very quickly. If the power's out but you still have water pressure, you're fine. But in many situations, water treatment plants lose power too, or you're on a well with an electric pump. When that happens, you need a solution.
Line your toilet with heavy-duty trash bags, or use a 5-gallon bucket with a snap-on seat and biodegradable bags. Stock up on these supplies now, because once you need them, it's too late. A 5-gallon bucket system with a proper seat and bags is surprisingly comfortable and can be set up in any room for privacy. Your complete sanitation checklist should include hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol content, antibacterial wipes, heavy-duty trash bags, plenty of toilet paper, feminine hygiene products, toothbrush and toothpaste, and disposable gloves. These supplies take up minimal space but make a massive difference in comfort and health. Here's a statistic that should get your attention. Gastrointestinal illnesses spike by 30% during blackouts, primarily due to poor hygiene. When you can't wash your hands properly, when food safety becomes questionable, when sanitation breaks down, people get sick. Having proper supplies isn't just about comfort, it's about keeping your family healthy when getting medical care might be difficult. Next, let's discuss something that becomes literally life-threatening during extended outages: prescription medications and first aid. Medication emergencies increase by 40% during extended power outages. That's a staggering number, and here's why it happens. Temperature fluctuations can degrade life-saving drugs within hours. Insulin, antibiotics, heart medications, and many other prescriptions require specific temperature ranges to remain effective. When your refrigerator stops working and temperatures inside your home start fluctuating, these medications can become useless or even dangerous. Here's what you need to do right now. Ask your doctor for 90-day prescription supplies instead of 30-day. Most insurance companies will approve this, and it creates a safety buffer. You'll have extra medication on hand if supply chains are disrupted or if you can't get to a pharmacy during an emergency. Use your portable power station to run a small medication refrigerator for temperature-sensitive prescriptions. These small fridges draw minimal power, but can be the difference between life and death for someone dependent on insulin or other refrigerated medications. Beyond medications, you need a comprehensive first aid kit. We're not talking about the tiny kit that comes in a plastic box from the drugstore. You need a real kit with bandages in multiple sizes, antibiotic ointment, pain relievers, antiseptic wipes, medical tape, gauze pads, tweezers, scissors, and emergency thermal blankets. Consider taking a Red Cross first aid course. During blackouts, emergency response times can triple or more. Roads might be blocked, emergency services might be overwhelmed, and ambulances might be in short supply. Your knowledge and skills could be crucial for treating injuries or medical issues until professional help can arrive. Now let's talk about sustaining your family with food and water. Most households have only 72 hours of food that doesn't require power to prepare. Think about that. 3 days. Grocery stores can close or empty their shelves quickly during disasters, and once they're empty, restocking can take days or weeks depending on the situation. Water is your most critical supply. You need 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and basic hygiene. For a family of 4, that means keeping at least 56 gallons stored for a 2-week supply. Yes, that's a lot of water. Yes, it takes up space. And yes, it's absolutely necessary. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. Store water in food-grade containers in a cool, dark place. Rotate your water supply every 6 months by using it for cooking or watering plants, then refilling with fresh water. Don't rely on being able to get water during an emergency. Treatment plants fail, pipes burst, and distribution breaks down. For food, focus on items that are nutritious, have long shelf lives, and don't require cooking. Stock peanut butter for protein and calories, canned chicken and tuna for protein, black beans for protein and fiber, pasta and rice that can be prepared with minimal heat, instant oatmeal for quick breakfasts, and canned fruits and vegetables. Here's a system that works. Use and replace older cans monthly. This rotation prevents waste and ensures everything in your emergency pantry is fresh. Write purchase dates on items so you know what to use first. Make your emergency food part of your regular meal planning so nothing goes to waste. Don't just focus on calories and nutrition, think about comfort and morale too. Include foods your family actually enjoys. During an extended outage, when stress is high and normal routines are disrupted, familiar comfort foods can make a real difference in keeping everyone's spirits up. Finally, let's talk about something that almost everyone forgets, but becomes critically important very quickly: cash. During blackouts, electronic payment systems fail completely. Credit card readers don't work. ATMs are useless. Only cash is accepted at the few stores and gas stations that might be open. Experts recommend keeping at least $500 in small bills: ones, fives, tens, and 20s. Why small bills? Because during an emergency, no one can make change. If you try to buy a $20 purchase with a $100 bill, you're probably out of luck. Having small denominations means you can actually use your cash for purchases. Store your cash in a waterproof, fireproof container. Ideally, get a small safe that's both waterproof and fireproof. This protects your cash from disaster damage and keeps it secure. Don't keep all your emergency cash in one place. Put some in your home safe, some in your car, and maybe some in a go bag. During the 2021 Texas blackout, only customers with cash could buy fuel and supplies from the few places that were open. People with plenty of money in their bank accounts couldn't access it and couldn't make purchases.